mercy. Ain't no mercy.
Enemy of the State is starred Will Smith and Gene Hackman, and is a story about a businessman who'd been framed for stealing something from a bad guy. Some secrets is in that tape that he doesn't want to out in the public. So, being framed by the government, they are after Will Smith. He doesn't know what's going on. He didn't know he has a tape. He had no idea what is happening. And he has to find out what is going on and survive. So, it's basically like your typical 80s or 90s thriller action movie. And it is really good. I really enjoyed it. The action here is directed very well. I had to say it first, but the action here is great. I loved it. It's exciting, it's fast paced, and it just, you thought this was just to be like a suspenseful thriller. It's an action film, and it really shows. And Will Smith really did well in those action scenes. And Will Smith is great in the movie as this character. He had like a snarkiness, your Will Smith wit. And he brought it well, even with the serious, typical talking to each other scenes. I just really like him in this film. And I really like him in almost everything except for After Earth. Let's forget about that movie. But I really like his performance. I really like his character. And so does Gene Hackman. He doesn't show up until halfway through the movie. But for what he is in, I thought he was really good and really added something to the movie. And his relationship with Will Smith is really good. I really like how the character developed. And those are like the only two characters you really had to root for. There are other side characters like the wife and a few of the villains and a few people following the guys. But other than that, the movie is just about Will Smith and Gene Hackman. And it really shows, and it really did a good job. The direction also is really good. Each scene doesn't have a shot that feels misplaced. And the writing is also really good. I mean, it really shows in the film. There's no bland dialogue sequence. There's no government meeting that feels boring. The writing here is really good, and it just gets you really invested in the film. The editing with the action sequences, also really well edited. There are no quick cuts to anything. It just perfect editing. It just doesn't go to any unnecessary subplots. Well, actually it does a few times, but other than that, the editing is really good. It's a very well edited film. The cinematography also really good. And it's just a good looking movie. Also the soundtrack. The soundtrack is, it has this sort of retro style, this retro government music that you see back in the days. Well, here back in the days, because it's music. But the soundtrack is really cool and gives such a good atmosphere to the film. I have but a few flaws with it, and that is what I said earlier. A few subplots that go nowhere. Sometimes there are characters that have a problem with this thing, and suddenly that is gone, or it doesn't add anything to the film. And the villains are kind of one-dimensional, and you really do not know why they are doing the thing they're doing. The film doesn't really explain that well, but other than that, this is a really fun movie. I have a few nitpicks, and that is the pacing. The pacing sometimes drags. The film is a little bit too long than what it should be. I feel like there's a few scenes that could be deleted and the film could have been better and nothing could change. But I really enjoyed the film, other than a few scenes that could be deleted, the villain being one-dimensional, and a few subplots that feel unnecessary. I overall really enjoy Enemy of the State, and I'm going to give it a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.
The flame, I torture you. I'm a slave to your games.